So I know that I shared about getting the cancer diagnosis and what that was like. But now I'm going to backtrack to when we actually found out that I had a tumor in my arm. It was a couple of months ago. This has been a really long process, but I started having this pain in my arm. I knew it wasn't something simple because of how badly it hurt. So when I went to the orthopedic doctor and he ordered the MRI, that came back that there was a bone lesion. That was kind of the initial shock of all of this, was that, oh, there's a tumor. So the night that I got the phone call from the doctor, I did what I normally do when I have very conversational prayers with the Lord. I said, okay, God, what do you have to say to this? And before I could even finish my sentence, I heard, peace be still. And it wasn't this gentle little, peace be still. It was like, peace be still. I just felt like that's definitely the Lord talking. That's definitely the Lord responding to my question. And I kept thinking about that because I wasn't asking him what he had to say about, all of the stuff that I was feeling. I was asking him what he thought about this storm that I was caught in, which was this tumor. And as it turns out, what is cancer. So when the Lord has spoken to me like this, and it's something directly out of the Word, I get in the Word, I go to the passage, and I really just dive in. In Mark 4, starting in verse 35, on that day when evening had come, he told them, let's cross over to the other side of the sea. So they left the crowd and took him along, since he was in the boat and other boats were with him. A great windstorm arose and the waves were breaking over the boat so that the boat was already being swamped. He was in the stern, sleeping on the cushion. So they woke him up, the disciples. Teacher, don't you care that we're going to die? I resonate with that feeling. He got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the sea, peace be still. The wind ceased, and there was a great calm. I have read this in the past, reading that peace be still part. It just kind of like how I hear it in my head, this peace be still. And you have to look at context. You have to look right before that, because in verse 39, where he says it says, he got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the sea, peace, be still. This is a command. This is not a gentle little peace. This is like, hey, stop it. And I love that. He rebuked the wind. When I thought about, I asked him what he had to say to this tumor. He said, peace, be still. He wasn't speaking that to me. He was speaking that to my situation because that's what I asked him. And so I realized that he was rebuking this. That was very just powerful to me. And by the Holy Spirit, I have had that peace that surpasses all understanding, because it does. There's no way that I get through this without him. I can't get up in the morning without that peace. It doesn't mean that it's perfect. I have hard days. There's days where it's just like, I could use a double dose of that peace. But I think that just, again, the context of peace be still. He wasn't saying it to the disciples. In this situation, he was talking to the storm. It's what I hold on to on those harder days where I'm wondering how long we will be going through this. Jesus told the disciples, let's go to the other side of the lake. There's a promise there. We're going to make it to the other side. When your boat starts taking on water, and there's a really, really bad storm, and it feels like Jesus is just sleeping and doesn't care, I promise he cares. And he doesn't just tell your storm to be quiet. He rebukes it and tells it to be still. He's in complete control of the situation. So there's that for you.